Spiritual Teaching 125. Love each other. 1. Here I am in your abode, speaking to you through your consciousness, because I am your judge. I have entrusted all a mission, and today I come to ask you, what have you made of it? 2. I have not come at this time secretly. From the earliest times my spiritual manifestation was announced, so you should not be surprised. 3. Why then was no one watching, waiting for my arrival? Who cleaned his home so that it come to him? Who washed their hands to break bread at the table? Who filled your heart with love to receive me? No one. Yet here I am keeping my promise to all. 4. If I come to teach you to keep a promise, understand that it is fair that you take my example and fulfill your mission. Beloved people, when you hear that I am claiming you, you remember that having received the commission to ensure world peace, you have not had peace. So you have asked me, Lord, if I am watching and praying, why does not peace come to the nations? And I tell you, because it is not enough to pray, but also to do meritorious works. 5. Already the prophets gave their blood to announce the truth to you. You already had me made a man on earth to live between you, a perfect passion. And the apostles and martyrs gave their lives out of love for humanity. Now is the time that you take up your cross and fulfill your mission, so that you can contemplate the arrival of peace. 6. People, open your heart and wake up from the deep sleep in which you live. Fight and do not distrust, that if the desert that you cross you contemplate it interminably, I tell you that in the middle of it, when the sun burns your faces more, a cloud whose presence will make you feel very close to your heart. 7. Deep in your heart you tell me that you are not worthy of my grace or my peace. And why are you not worthy? I have put the whole of nature at your fingertips so that you can better serve me. I have filled you with gifts and that your life be more placid, and so a hymn of love rise from your heart to me. 8. Today I had to tell you, make your life simple so that you have time to think about your siblings. Only in this way can you give your spirit the opportunity to free itself from the materialism that surrounds it and fulfill his mission of loving and serving his Lord in his likeness. 9. Fight, my children, for the cause of peace and brotherhood. But do not think you see the triumph near, it is still distant. Do not trust yourselves, because enemies lurk, and even when spiritually they have no strength, you are considering them powerful and imagining them invincible. 10. Why do I judge you, people? Because I do not want there to be hidden faults and errors in your heart. Because I will put you in front of those who are to receive my message from you. And I do not want them to find something to correct you, because you would thus honor your master. 11. What would become of you if I hid your imperfections from you? Would you regenerate in life if your faults were not the painful consequences? 12. See how much pain there is among humanity. That is the fruit of its sowing. I speak to you through consciousness to move him to repentance and amendment, but his heart has become deaf to my voice. 13. Men who rule the destinies of your peoples, aren't you still fed up with blood and lives? Don't you listen to the voice of conscience or of reason? You are more and more arrogant, but my justice will bring down your pride. 14. You are proud, because with your science you have built the new Tower of Babel, from where you challenge my power, telling the peoples that your knowledge surpasses divine revelations. With it you have trampled my law, and you have falsified the word of Christ, fearing that the truth will be known, thereby losing the glory and the power of the earth. 15. I have let your tower rise and your science grow, to ask you, who has given you the right to dispose of the lives of your kindred? Who has allowed you to shed blood? Who, in short, without failing to do the right thing, should he interpose himself in the fate of his own brothers? 16. Humanity, daughter of light, open your eyes. See that you are living the age of the Spirit. 17. Why have you forgotten me and wanted to compare your power with mine? I tell you that the day that a wise man with his science forms a being similar to you and endows him with spirit and gives him consciousness, I will pose my scepter in his hand. 18. On corpses and rubble science will raise its kingdom, which will be very brief, so that later will be established the kingdom of justice, peace and love. I will come looking for those who have fallen in the fight, those who have lost the path, who have been taught different paths. I will seek you to raise you to true life, not to distinguish anyone. Depositing my kiss of love, the same on the clean forehead, as on the stained one. 19. The Father speaks to you, he who has no one to bow down to pray to. But in truth I tell you, that if about me, if someone greater existed, I would bow before him, because humility dwells in my spirit. See how you, being my little creatures, you bring me down to speak to you, listen to you and comfort you, instead of fighting to ascend to me. 20. My arcanum has been opened for you, and the time is drawing near when you will love the truth and flee from the fictitious and empty life that you have created. The splendor of the materialistic age will soon begin its decline into its final period. Little today you understand what I say, but soon everyone will understand. 21. How can you not materialize your life? If even the divine you conceive only through the material, giving credit only to what you perceive through your senses. 22. Those who claim to know me have represented me badly on earth, and this is the reason why many have turned your back. To those who call themselves atheists, I will not claim for having thrown me from their hearts, but to those who, by falsifying the truth, they have shown a God that many have not been able to accept. 23. Everything that is just, healthy, and good contains truth, which is what I have proclaimed throughout the ages. The time has come when you must once again love the truth, that is, when you will once again recognize what is just and what is right and good. Since having been born of my spirit, you will have to aspire to the high, to the eternal, to the pure. 24. I have not held anyone captive. I have forced no one to abandon the path they have chosen. Who has wanted to scrutinize? I have allowed it. To the one who has wanted to delight, I have consented. But to all I have shown my law, the only one, so that they do not stray from the path. 25. What is at the end of the path that humanity mistakenly follows today? What man will find when you reach that goal? It will be boredom, fatigue, disappointment, and pain. Can the human spirit be satisfied with such a harvest? And will it be the fruit that it bears to its Father in eternity? No, people, the human spirit is going to awaken to the result of its works, and in that hour, he will be his own judge, so that, after that judgment, he rises full of strength to restore and rebuild his life, taking advantage of his experience and dedicating himself to love and seek only the truth. 26. I have come to look for you, and I say to you, let the Spirit rise and contemplate me. I am the same. Time does not passes over me. I am the Master who in many places and roads of Judea spoke to you of the eternal kingdom of the truth. On the other hand, you have changed. The selfishness and evil of the world have poisoned your heart, and you sometimes feel unworthy of my presence. I have come because I love you, and I want you to amend your steps and that you fight for your spiritual advancement. 27. Do not despise the time I give you. Watch and pray, and I will tell you how you should work. Love, and you will have joy. Work peace, and you will feel that life on earth is a reflection of the eternal mansion. 28. Think that I have not come to give you material riches, but to invite you to make a spiritual life of renunciations and humility. And once again I say to you, whoever wants to follow me, Take up his cross and come after me. That cross will not be heavy, if you know how to carry it with patience and strength, making sure that you will no longer be able to live without him, to the extent that if his sweet weight were removed from you, you would ask me to place it on you again, even when you come to feel it greater than before. It is because you will have understood the gravity of the charge that I have given, and that this cross represents your salvation. 29. If I have formed everything created on earth for the recreation of man, always take it for your benefit. Not to forget that there is a voice in you that indicates the limits within which you can take whatever nature offers you. And it is that inner voice that you must obey. Just as you seek for your body a home, shelter, sustenance, and satisfactions to make its existence, so you must grant the spirit what is necessary for its well-being and progress. If he feels attracted to higher regions where he finds his true abode, let him rise. Do not imprison him, because he looks for me to feed and strengthen himself. I tell you that every time you allow him to free himself like this, he will happily return to its abode. 30. In this way you will prepare yourself to comply with the laws of the Spirit and with those that govern life on earth. 31. I feed all beings, and if I have told you, birds neither sow nor reap nor spin, and are fed and dressed with so much love, why do you, who are the favorite son, doubt my power, in the middle of the fight for the daily sustenance? Do not forget that there is a Father who watches over you and who will never let you perish. I also tell you that if you observe my precepts, your struggle would be less painful, because it would not take so much effort on your part to survive. And in the hour of your trials you would see wonders. 32. In the first era, the people of Israel underwent great hardships, and Moses, contemplating the despair that for lack of bread he was taking hold of the crowds, he said to them, "Pray, the Lord will serve him sending food to his people." Moses prayed and waited with patience and faith for that divine will, and the manna, as an answer and as a reward for the faith of that man, descended to satisfy the needs of a people. With her I declared that I had heard his prayer and that I was with him. 33. Now I have told my people that the trials will touch them again, that the pain will be great among humanity, and that the bread will not be enough to feed men, that the earth today is fertile, for a time it will become sterile, and that you will contemplate everywhere pain, hunger, and corruption. Caravans of men and women will go door to door, imploring charity. The chalice will be very bitter. But if you know how to pray, there will be bread on your table and comfort for you and for your brothers. 34. With prayer and charity, you will attract the spirits of good, who will protect you. If you want to feel me very close, you will prepare, and you will have me presiding over your table. You will not lack what is necessary, and you will make your brothers participate of the same grace. 35. Do you not have enough love to protect your kind in the hour of trial? Just as I have come to you, you will go to your brothers and do with them what I have done with you. Once again I tell you that for a small portion of peasants who stand up with true clarity to extend my teaching, my work will be known and will be established in the hearts of those who will later be my forerunners in all nations. 36. Science has not taken root in you. I look at you humble, and that is why I have chosen you. I have given you my word, so that you possess the true science, because the knowledge that men have cannot cure the evil that afflicts humanity. That light, that science of which man is so proud, nor can convert the hearts or save spirits. 37. My word, which now flows abundantly through the spokesman, will not be heard after 1950 in this form. Only those who with true preparation rise up will receive my inspiration, and when they speak in my name, they will be believed. Preparation and spirituality is what your mission requires to be able to perform wonders. Whenever I have taken you as an instrument to heal a sick person, I have taken into account your preparation. You will not always have to try too hard to persuade your brothers of this truth, because you will find that many will feel faith from the first moment, and others will humbly confess that it has been the essence of my word, the one that has healed them. 38. You will concentrate in the depth of your heart, forming with the union of your thoughts a single spirit, so that your prayer, as if it were crystalline water, fall at the foot of this bush that you are cultivating. The bush transform into a stout tree and give you abundant fruits with which to feed you in the time of trials. 39. Do not fear not being able to receive me between pomp and finery or with regal ceremonies. Your humility and simplicity are the best environment you can prepare for my manifestation. I want spirits, because they are the ones I seek, for whom I descended into the world in another time, and for whom I gave my blood. 40. I was the one who pointed out at that time the place and the hour for my advent as a man. Also I have marked the place and time that he would come among men in the third age. Everything was prepared with perfect justice and wisdom. A new land was to witness my new coming. The west was to be enlightened with the glow of my presence. Listen, long ago in the north of your lands lived a great tribe, from which a prophet arose inspired by my light. He raised and led those people in pursuit of a beautiful land, where they should found their city. Faced with such a pleasant promise, those tribes rose with the hope of deserving that land. Nothing stopped, and when they encountered obstacles in their path, their faith helped them overcome them until they reached the prophesied place, which was, as in the first era, an image of Canaan, the land promised to the Israelites, the land that milk and honey flow. 41. See how the leaf of the tree does not move without my will, and how nothing is alien to my designs and divine plans. 42. That tribe inspired by the faith of a promise that came to see fulfilled, raised their city, and in it raised their God, their primitive worship, formed their homes and gave splendor to their empire, which in its magnificence resembled that of Solomon. It was that land, according to the promises, a land of more and more prosperity. The male was strong, the sweet and tender woman, and both were beautiful. But the time came when that people had to know the name and the work of Christ, their Lord, reaching them the good news on the lips of strange men who came from the other side of the sea and who they had already seen in their dreams. Very great was the mission of those who brought the light of my doctrine to these lands. But in truth, I tell you that there were very few who knew how to comply with the law of love, charity, and humanity that my teachings advised. Because for the most part, those men allowed themselves to be possessed by greed, forgetting all principles of brotherhood, making innocent blood flow in torrents, to take possession of what their eyes contemplated. 43. The invaders demolished the idols of that people, causing them to blaspheme against the God who they came to reveal them with so much injustice and with so much cruelty. Could those idolaters recognize through such inhuman acts Christ, the God of love, the one who nobody takes his life, but rather gives his life to save the one who has offended him? Those tribes fell under slavery and the rule of the four, as in the first era. Israel had fallen under the yoke of pharaohs and Chazores. Those were times of pain, bitterness, and tears that came upon that town. And it was then when his cry, resounding in the heavens, drew upon himself like a mantle of infinite tenderness, the love of Mary, the sweet mother of the universe. 44. Due to their sensitivity, that town was destined to be Marian, because they recognize and love that divine truth, found the spiritual scale that lead the spirits to me. 45. In that town, what is it? It is yours, who after his struggles and his long journey has contemplated the arrival of the third era, with my new coming. 46. It is my living word that you are listening to, so that with it you may destroy all fanaticism and all idolatry that you had surrounded my name, teaching you a worship by means of which you can seek me spiritually in spirit and truth. This people will be very great and strong in spirit when they live and practice the worship that I have been teaching them. Then he will be able to abolish the lie and take to other lands the message of spirituality and light that awaits nations. 47. This people will be prepared for that fight in which my justice precedes over the great battle of ideas, creeds, and doctrines. Everyone will be surprised when in the midst of the whirlwind they hear a calm and firm voice that will be that of my disciples, fulfilling their mission of spiritual brotherhood. 48. For now understand that as long as men do not achieve complete spirituality, they will have to need material temples, and to place before their eyes shapes or images that make them feel my presence. 49. The degree of spirituality or materialism of humanity. You can measure it by the form of your worship. The materialist looks for me in the things of the earth, and if not, he comes to see me according to his wishes. He represents me in some way to believe that he has me in front of him. 50. Whoever conceives me as a spirit feels me inside, outside of him, and in everything that surrounds him, because he has become my own temple. 51. From time to time I have made ever more advanced revelations that men have not known to understand, because they have always created idolatries and more idolatries around them. In that second era I said to my disciples, do you see how great, majestic, and opulent is the temple of Jerusalem? For of him there will be no stone on stone. My word was fulfilled. Because all the idolatry and desecration that was done in him, I erased them with my doctrine. I promised to rebuild it in 3 days, that precisely are fulfilled in this third era, in which I come to raise in the heart of humanity the new temple, the new sanctuary built in the purest spirit of man. 52. Recognize my Father's mercy, looking as when the altar of your idolatry collapses, and my word is waiting for you, and a new light is lighting your way, so as not to let yourself fall into darkness. 53. Do not be surprised or scandalized if I tell you that all the splendor, power, and pomp of your religions will disappear, and that, when that happens, the spiritual table will already be prepared where the multitudes hungry for love and truth will come to feed themselves. 54. Many men, hearing these words, will deny that they are mine. But then I will ask you, why outraged, and what do they defend? Their life. That I defend my law. I also watch over her. 55. Do not fear, that no one will die because of me. Only evil will die, because the good, the truth, and the justice will prevail eternally. 56. People, what voice is this that you hear in the depths of your heart? To what paths it leads you, and why do you seek it? I know why you follow me. Is that you know that the voice you hear is that of your God, of the one whom, through the times and your evolution, you have searched in many ways. 57. You all know that this voice, which reaches the depths of your being, is that of your Father, because it treats you like children, with perfect love. 58. I come to show myself as a loving Father, as a humble teacher, never indifferent to your sufferings, and always forgiving and merciful in the face of your imperfections, because you will always be children in front of me. 59. I have to judge you when I contemplate how the creatures that were formed with so much love and destined to eternal life, they stubbornly seek death on earth, without worrying about spiritual life, or wishing to know the perfections that existence reserves for you. 60. Study my word, so that you know that in it is my law, and that therefore it is the word of a king who never backs off. Neither should you go back on the road, if you take into account that you carry in your spirit my word which is law, and that your body is inferior to your spirit. Therefore, hear more the voice of a consciousness in which I am present, and not the voice of a flesh. 61. My divine word descends on your spirit, and you feel full of spiritual essence. More, if this word was false, your spirit will never be satisfied after listening to it, nor would you ever meet again to wait for it with the avidity with which you are doing it. 62. I am the dawn that has started a new time for humanity, in which your spirit will see the path that leads to me. Do you, by chance, know where you are on the scale of perfection? Do you know if you are spiritually elevated or immersed in the realm of evil? Truly I tell you that none of you could satisfactorily answer these questions. 63. Do not think that while your spirit is incarnated on earth, will have to live material existence only. No, you must all know that from your earthly dwelling you can inhabit spiritually in the regions of light, where is the kingdom that will come to inhabit eternally. 64. The spirit on earth is only supported by a weak point of support, that is the body, which serves to dwell in the world and receive through it the lessons or tests that the Father sees fit to send you. For long and painful is the atonement in the world. You should never regard it as a prison. No one has been condemned to death. Instead, I tell you, you have all been destined to live. Each creature, being born to the life, received from the Creator a kiss that was an antidote to evil and a shield against snares. 65. I am the cause of your existence, so recognize that your origin is in the good. If your past on earth has been impure, sinful, or in any way remote of my laws, let your conscience shine, emerging into a new life, and leaving behind the path in which abuse of material pleasures resulted in you falling into vice and pain. Look in the example that through Jesus gave you the luminous path for your spirit, because my steps on earth, my works and my word, were the perfect lesson and the parable of eternal life that I bequeath to the spirit of humanity. 66. I leave you anointed with my balm and with my forgiveness. Know me, O toddlers, because the knowledge that you have of me is still very small. What I tell you in a lesson is not all that I have to reveal to you. Come tirelessly to your master, and the book of life will be opened before your eyes. 67. You have already received the First Testament, my law and my presence in the time of Moses. You already had in the second era the Second Testament, bequeathed by Jesus to men through my divine word. Now receive directly from my spirit the Third Testament, so that, uniting the three revelations, you can become the great disciples of the third era. 68. People, listening to me, you transport yourselves and contemplate my presence in a spiritual gaze. It is not your senses that contemplate me in that mirage, nor is it a mirage of your imagination. It is the faith with which you are listening to me. It is your spirituality and elevation of this moment. Here you feel my peace, but how close to you are those who create the pain? They are the ambitious who do not hesitate to kill their brothers to crown themselves. Get ready to fight, so that soon know that you must not go after high places of false foundations, because my divine justice destroys all that is vain. 69. Sick, come before my presence. I come to heal you. The hungry know that I am waiting for him. The murderer, for whose veins runs the hatred. Come to me, that I will transform your confusion into light and your bitterness into good taste. Come everyone to hear me and prepare their spirit, because after 1950 the splendor of the kingdom of light will begin. Today you are just seed. Tomorrow you will be plants, and finally you will bear fruits of love. My peace be with you.